boy Dean,
Tim,
Durant,
and what we're shooting a special episode of the Dean's Office, which is called the Dean's List. All right, where we highlight someone in the community that's doing something well, that's helping the community, that's have something interesting that we would like to acknowledge. So we place them on the Dean's List. And the person that we have today is
Lande. I own Lande Brand Consulting. So it's a business consulting firm focusing on business startup, business financing, business marketing, business branding, business loans. So basically I start with businesses from the beginning to the end. So if you need help from, hey, I have an idea, to actually putting it on paper, to actually making money, that's what I help businesses do.
So we about to jump into that right now. Let's go, yo.
World, you're needed in the Dean's office.
There's a topic that we want to discuss that I want to discuss because you want here. Because you're here, I feel like we can kind of bring it up and discuss it. So Kevin Samuels, right? I don't know if you've seen it, but man,
Can I take a drink first?
Yeah, take a drink. So my man Kevin Samuels, he put a post and he was saying once a woman turned 35, right? She's used, or what is used?
So when she turned 35 and she's not married.
Yeah, she's not married.
She's considered leftover.
So hold on. So I'm gonna give you a second to answer that, right? So you want to hit your drink one more time. Just make sure you hit your drink one more time. Ready? All right. So now, tell me what you think.
I don't know. Am I answering?
Yes.
I'm sorry. So with the 35, repeat the question again for me, Tim.
All right. So Kevin Samuels, I don't really listen to him, but he responded, he made a comment. If a woman is 35 and not married, she's considered as leftover. Okay. How do you feel about that?
So and hold on, before you say, and I want him, because what he means is, again, I don't know dude, so I'm just guessing what he means. So he's saying leftover. He's saying when you at that stage in your life, you gotta take whatever you can get. Mm-hmm. So you should reduce your standards. That's if I'm getting from what he's saying.
Basically, what he's saying, you're not a high value woman because at 35, what's wrong with you?
Okay, so I would say this, right? Kevin Samuels, and I want to say this because a lot of women might not agree with me. There's certain things that he does say. I don't follow him either because he a lot of BS that he says. But what I would say, there's certain things that he says that most people don't want to say, and he says it, and it's the truth. I'm gonna I'm gonna give him that. But when it relates to this particular topic, I think he's BSing, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, let me give you guys a little background on Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is a 54, 55, maybe retirement age individual. He's been divorced twice, so he's not in the position to give anybody marriage advice. That's my first opinion.
But a lot of people still listen to him.
They do because I honestly feel like he's.
Steve Harvey listen to him?
No, Steve Harvey is another one people take advice from, but he's been divorced.
Yeah, he's had a successful one.
All right,
he's a successful one now.
All right, but y'all kind of in saying that y'all kind of proving Kevin Samuels' point.
What's that?
Divorce isn't anything. I mean, like, all right, let me take that back. Divorce isn't that's not a failure, right? Like, people, you grow out of things, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's something, just like I don't think not being married at 35 is a validation. I don't think being divorced is an indictment, you know what I mean? So I don't, you know what I mean?
See, no, hold on, I'll make sure I'm not cutting you off.
Okay, so I want to answer the question.
So, go ahead. No, before you answer it, let me just get this, before I lose my train of thought. I'm like that. It's not that we're down on people that have been divorced. It's not that we saying once you divorce, you can't have no voice. But what I'm saying is, when you're the way that marriage was established, with the foundation on what it gives you on, marriage is, when they say when you choose to be with somebody, the marriage itself tells you to death do its part, sickness and health, right? So when someone choose not to continue that, now if you get married, if you get divorced because you're being abused, or your life is in danger or something like that, or being cheated on. Hold on. If you're being cheated on,
Or she got fat. That's not a reason.
Nah, you can't. See, but that's what I'm saying. You gotta hold on if she fat. If one of those main reasons is not the reason why that you're getting divorced, then it comes to that you don't hold true to that value, because marriage is supposed to meant to go through, endure it all, minus the abusive relationship and being cheated on. So I think when you give advice on how to get married or how to find a perfect person, it looks a little different from somebody who divorced because of reason of not those two. But go ahead, man, finish.
Okay, so, and I agree. So, but what I would definitely, going back to answer your question, Tim, like what his question was if you are at 35 and you haven't yet been married, you are somewhat of a wasted or something. Leftover woman, right?
Even though leftover is good.
Leftover is very good.
Yeah.
So I would say this: I'm a over 35-year-old woman, and I've never been married.
Okay.
And what I would definitely share is if I would have maybe gotten married, and this is my personal experience, if I would have gotten married maybe in my 20s or in my 30s, I probably would have been divorced now. And the reason why I say that is because the individuals that I was entertaining in that age were not people that I feel would have brought me or
You was better than them.
No. I'm not better than them. No. I don't. Here he goes with that. No, it's not that I'm better than them. But what I mean is that they wouldn't have been able to understand or help me grow into the level I wanted to go. Then now now it's a level of resentment. So now I would be 35 and divorced. Okay. So now I feel like me personally, I honestly feel like the ages from 33ish to like up is when the age when you really should start thinking about getting married, because that's when really life really starts getting at you, right? So in my 20s, I have there's young people here, and you want to have fun, you want to have a good time, and
so you want to get loose.
Period. And with that being said, it's just like, and when I say loose, it doesn't mean like I have to go jump from guy to guy. Yeah. But if I want to travel, I can do that. If I don't have any children, if I want to go to Europe, if I want to go to Spain, if I want to go, I just can pick up and go. Now, when you do that at a very early age, it hinders you when you do get to that age of 34, 35. Like, you're like, man, now you have to there's other obstacles that kind of come in. So me personally, I think that age determination that he gave, 35, that you are a leftover woman. And no, some women might not have children at 35. They might not. That's when their career is really popping off. Like, your career don't really pop off. In this new millennial age, I do feel like, things have changed from when I was coming up, because millennials now are making money at 25, 26, but that's not what it was for Kevin Samuel's generation. Kevin Samuel's generation we're making money now in our late 30s, late 40s, that's when we're making money. So I just don't feel like him in particular should have been the one to make that particular statement, because listen, sir, you're 55, you're divorced twice, you're dating or going on dates with Brittany Renner. If you guys know who she is, I think that's her name. Listen, you are not in a position to be giving nobody no advice when it comes to anything leftover, because honey, you are the leftover, the trash, and everything else. But what I would definitely share is that as a woman, I feel like now and I don't mind sharing, I'm 37. I'm 30, but it's now I know what I want, right? I didn't know what I wanted at 28.
Damn, I thought you was older than that. No, but what I mean is, what I mean is because
of maturity.
No.
All the things you accomplished.
Nah,
Thank you.
I'm trying to help.
No, it ain't got nothing to do with looks or whatever. I just thought she grew up with us. It's because I know you. When you know somebody so long, you kind of forget what age at, because we knew you a long. I mean, we know each other for a long time. Yeah. We like brothers and sisters. Yeah. So I just figured, I thought you was like my age. When I mean by that, when I said that, I didn't realize, like, damn, bro, you ain't even hit this 40 yet. You know what I'm saying? I just thought because we all, like, even sometimes I forget Terrell is that much younger than us, because we all, we that what I mean
I'm
by
34. I'm sorry. Woo.
You know how old you are.
Cause we all grew up like
Together, I get
together
it,
and
I
did
get it.
things together. Like we could tell stories, you know what I'm saying? Like we did.
We're relatable.
Yeah, so that's why I thought we was the same age group.
Yeah.
So that's a good point that you pointed out because once again, people feel. I think they're gonna have some ladies will start second guessing themselves, right?
Yeah.
And this guy mentioned this about being 35, and like you said,
I did it in my life.
we all in that circle, the 35ish and up, and I know I have some female friends that are not married.
I'm a 40, my boy.
All right, where the
I
37
said 35, 30. So he tried to tell me I don't hang with people that around me is 30 something.
But you're 43, bro. You're in the 35 and up club.
What I'm saying
You
is
in the 40 and up club.
I have female friends that's 35 and up. So and for them, how should they feel about that if they're not married, they're not with kids, they know this, but they hear this guy commenting about it. You know what I mean?
I would say this, it's like, you can't go, you have to understand where you at in life right now, right? Because here's the thing, I'm going to be very transparent. I don't think I would have been a good wife 10 years ago. Me, honestly, at 27 version of myself and the 37-year-old version of myself is two different people. So for him to come out and say that it doesn't make sense because who you are at 27, 30 is not who you are at 35.
I like
So I would definitely, for the women, to answer your question, Tim, is like, no, trust me, ladies. The person you are, who I am now, was definitely not the lady I was at 30, 31, and 32.
I like that. I like what you mentioned. So you basically saying you should be preparing yourself to be a good wife and focus on that rather than saying I'm not married yet.
Correct.
So what you're saying is if you would have been 27 and you were, I want to get married without even working on yourself first, the marriage would have failed automatically, just like Kevin Sam's marriage.
Yes.
So you're saying now that I'm working on myself a little bit, I am prepared to be married, but I'm not going to settle because I know what I bring to the table.
So then that brings us back. So what is that? What does that person come to?
Hold on, before, because again, I want to get a little Kevin Samuels on y'all right quick. Just right quick, and you can answer that question. I do advise.
Why you squint your eyes when you start talking like this?
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying. Because I want them to feel what I'm saying. I do advise. I know it's wrong. It's taboo. I know it's sinful. I know it's something we don't want to hear and preach. But I do advise, have your kids in the 20s. Because when you, like 49, with no responsibilities, what I mean, boy, life is great. Because think about two things happen. When you're in your 20s, you got to debate if I'm going to pay $20 to get in that club or get there early enough for $10. You're going to debate if I can go on this trip or I'm going to miss. When you now that you're in your 40s and you have I don't want to say a good life, but you kind of established financially and chilling, life is great. But y'all boys that, like when I'm like, hey, Terrell, let's go here. I got to find a babysitter.
You know what?
I don't know. You might.
I
just even if you ain't gonna be with the baby daddy, hey, I'm fine. Get out the way.
You know a risk you run though? Having in the early 20s, something called child support, buddy.
See, I'm gonna tell you. See, this is another thing too. Again, I ain't knocking nobody, hustle or whatever. In my 20s, if you hit me with child support, because I was on child support. This is why I'm speaking. I know what I'm talking about. You only paying $40.
Cause he ain't got it.
I ain't got it. Now if you put me on child support now, I'm bad.
Yeah.
I'm bad. Yeah, God damn it. You got me on child support. You taking all my money. I'm mad. I'm giving my check. I'm telling you, I pay child support. There's a difference paying child support when you got a minimum wage job compared to when you got a salary job.
No, you're
This
right.
is different than that child
You're
support.
right.
So again, I don't want to knock nobody, but hey,
Can I ask a question to the table? Maybe Lande, you want to answer this? So would you look at a woman differently if she told, let's say you in a new setting, and you meet a woman, right? And she told you, yeah, I'm 37, 38, right? And then you ask her she's married, no, she's not married. What would be your first thought?
See, that's why I didn't go too hard on Kevin Samuel. I would completely, if I'm say right now, I meet a female and she's not married, she's 37, I would completely think something wrong with her.
And
I wouldn't think so. I think for me,
I would.
I wouldn't think so because I'll figure. Depending on what she is.
Can we get a Bible?
No, because think what I'm saying. Because when you look at I'm looking at successful women, right? A lot of them not married. A lot of them having the children because they focus more on their career. So I don't think it's something wrong with them. I just think their focus was still different.
But
And that's what I'm saying. So if I'm going on somebody and they tell me, hey, I'm gonna ask more questions. They got a job, they got all this other stuff.
See, I know because again, this is one of the topics that we didn't want to touch, as we stated before, about women and their roles and what men is looking for. All right, I seen we got a lot of flare up and a lot of discussion on about what a woman does to make herself dateable to a man compared to what a man would want a woman to do to be dateable to him. If that makes any sense. So I would say the reason why I say if someone's 37 or 35ish that is not married, I would ask questions. Not saying I wouldn't date them, not saying I wouldn't rock with them. I'm saying I would ask questions. It's because one, women are more often more willing to be in a committed relationship, right? Compared to a man. So then the fact that I know that you want to be in a committed relationship, now my question turns to is why? Is what I'm saying. Not saying that it's negative. I'm just gonna be like, what's some of the barriers that prevented you from being married now? Because I know that you have. Hold on. So now
you on the first date, and that's how you're gonna ask me. So what are some of the barriers?
I'm gonna tell you
What
why.
are some of the barriers?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. Hold on, man. Hold on. Just right quick. Hold on. This is why I'm trying to tell you. Being on child support at 20 compared to being on child support at 40 is different. When I'm in my 20s, I'm like, damn, why you got no boo? But because of the job I'm in, that's how we communicate to the people. We use the word barriers, challenges, because we know if you say issues or concerns, it is frowned upon. It makes them feel less than when you use the word issues. If I come to you and say what's some of the barriers and challenges, you're more likely to tell me compared to if I say what's your issue. So that's why I'm saying, because I'm wiser now, I'm going to use the word barriers because I don't want her to think that I'm saying there's something wrong with her by saying what's your issues are not getting together. I'm going to use the word barriers. So that's why I'm saying it will help. I'm going to ask, what's the barriers? So now when she hit me with the barriers, now I got to see, because Tim's talking about, she's successful. I might not want a successful girl.
Been nice. So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, answer the question.
My bad. In reverse though. Let's say you met a guy that's 39, 40. Because if you say 36, 37 is believable. 40 years old, right? Say I've never been married, whatever the case would be. Are you going to be like, what's going on?
Absolutely. But hold on.
We know.
But I would say this. I feel also too in this community that we put a lot of that on women. Why is it that something's wrong with the woman? Like, why is it something that's wrong with us? Like, something is wrong with me as to the reason why I'm not married at 35 or 36. I probably would have came across a gentleman, but I have everything that it takes, but he's not ready to settle down. So why do we always look at it and put it? And I feel like that's another problem that we have in our community is that we put all the thing onto women.
Were you in church?
I'm about to answer the question, and I'm absolutely on your side. But in life, in math, you always try to solve for X, right?
Right.
What is X? The common denominator, the thing that is, no matter where you're going, why does all these things happen, although you're in these different variables? So let's say, for example, I'm in a relationship with A, B, C, and D, and I broke up with A, B, and C, and D, then I'm like, man, A was this, B was this, C was this, D was this. They can be like, X. You gotta
X factor?
Yeah, you got the X factor here. You gotta work on whatever the case will be. Like sometimes that's what we be looking at. They be like, okay, there's 1 billion people on this earth. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're like a computer, I'm behind, whatever the case may be, you've met somebody who you wanted, you know what I'm saying? Like, so why is that connection not happening, or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, so but I would chime in and kind of say this, right? From a woman, as being the only woman here, is that, again, I'm going to go back to saying, at the end of the day, it's like, I just feel like at a particular age, we mature more. I'm not going to lie. There's no way I could hold a conversation. The conversation I can hold now with a significant other and actually listen to him and hear him out and make sure that I'm not talking over him, making sure I'm not overbearing, because I have a very big personality and I want things to go my way. So I had to learn these things. I was not learning these things at 31, 32, 33. I was trying to have fun. Like, I'm not trying to do that. So now it's like, okay, allowing you to finish your sentence and allowing and going back and saying, this is what I heard you say. Correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of people that I date now, they're like, whoa, like, where did you learn that? But I was not going to get that at, I was not going to learn that at 31, 30. I didn't know that at that age. I'm not saying that you can't, but I had to go through those experiences to learn that. So again, I don't want to be I know I never wanted to be someone that got married and got divorced. So I'm not going to marry you to get divorced, to get married again. So I'd rather be single and sleep in peace, because I sleep in peace every night. I ain't got to worry about anybody going through my phone, to their phone, or is he talking to somebody else, is she talking to somebody? I don't have those worries. So that's what I would definitely share, is that I think, you mature more, you get more experiences, and then again, just like when you're on a job, like the more experience that you have, the more valuable that you become. And that's just what I feel about.
I like that.
See, look, and then even add open-ended questions. You ask open-ended questions so you can engage with the person more. See, these are things. See, you
are talking to me like a counselor right now.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The way you respond, yes, the way you respond now in your 20s and now, thank you. So if I was dating, those are the conversations I'm having. So again, if you're having conversations like you were in your 20s and you're 30-something, that might be some of the concern.
That's not growth.
Like the verbiage you're using, you shouldn't be using the same verbiage in your 20s, meaning like, how you communicate and understand someone in your 20s and you do now in your late 30s or early 40s shouldn't be the same. That's what I'm trying to say. That's why, yes, barrier is a great word, because I understand. Now I understand. I can't tell this young lady I just met, she got an issue. You know what I'm saying? I might mean it genuinely, but all she heard was wah issue. Well, I'm telling her, just tell me some of the barriers, some of the challenges that prevented you from, being in that relationship. So now I have a question for you. You know what I'm saying? Like how often have it been you broken up with them, or they broken up with you?
I think breaking up, you have to be in a relationship to break up. Right?
So you ain't been in a relationship?
In relationships, I've broken up with them. In situationships, I probably had one that broke up with me. Two. And one of them.
So you only had 2 relationships?
No. Again, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
In relationships, I've only had 2 serious relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Serious, like for real. But in situationships where you wanted to go into relationships, where we cut it off, I've had 2 call it off with me, and one I sincerely regret. Like that one is I dropped the ball, and I was like, again, going back to what Kevin Samuels was saying about, that gentleman came into my life and I wasn't ready for him. Straight up, like I wasn't ready. Like I didn't know how to articulate. I didn't know how to the conflict resolution. Like I compare a lot of men to him because he was like my piece in a sense. Mm-hmm. So he came in and he set the tone for a lot of men that I date now. And he was like, I'm not dealing with that. Again, because I wasn't mature enough. I didn't have the experience enough to know how to converse with him. So he taught me, a lot. So that one is one, how you have that one that got away? He was the one that got away.
You still follow him on Facebook?
I don't, but because he's married now, but I wouldn't do that. But again, that.
Hold on, you can't follow him. You can't be Facebook friends now that he's married.
Nah, because I get in my feelings every time I look at it. Because that was supposed to be me. So,
I got you.
No.
So you fumbled the bag on that one.
No, I did.
Okay.
I did that. I tell anybody I did that. I did.
How long have your longest relationship been?
5 years.
5 years?
Mm-hmm.
So in that 5 years, you were like, damn, bro, why don't we marry yet?
No, I ain't want to marry him.
Oh, for real? Oh, he was.
No. Like you talk about that, I was like, again, that's where it comes in. Where you're not ready. I would have been divorced. That's what I'm saying. I would have been divorced now because the things that I thought I wanted back then are not the things that I want now. Probably, things that I wanted back then were, materialistic things like, oh, he could do this and he could do that. He could buy me this. He could buy me that. He's showing my, my children this, and then when you look at it, like there's a lot of other factors that come in. Like I can't deal with the maybe the narcissism. I can't maybe deal with the control. That that can't be me. So I knew I didn't want to be divorced. So I knew that's not somebody that I wanted to marry.
Is marriage a high priority thing for you right now? Or just like, if it happens, it happens?
I think for me right now, if it happened, no, I'm going to get married. I'm going to get married because I feel like that's the foundation. I'm going to do it for sure. But I know I don't want to be divorced. I don't want to be in a marriage too that my guy is, I just feel like there's a lot of a standard there. Women, they just deal because they like that title that I'm a wife. Oh, I'm the wife, and your man is either stepping out on you, he's doing whatever he want to do, he talks to you any kind of way, he's probably beating you at home. Like I don't want that. I genuinely am looking for a partnership. So and to kind of grow what I have going on.
So let me ask you a question. What's your cutoff?
What do you mean?
So meaning like
Breaking point.
Yeah, like at what age would you say, man, pump it? I'm just going. Or you gonna be 80?
That's very difficult because I can't say it's 80 because I know people that got married at 42, 43.
No, but I want to say are you open to being married at 80?
No, I ain't married at 80.
So
I'm gonna be like Oprah. Sorry.
No, at a certain point.
After a certain age, we finna Oprah this thing out. We finna be Oprah and Stedman. We gonna be together. I don't have to get married. We can be together, but we don't have to get married.
So let me ask you this question. So, what's your top 3 things? Right. Oh, you know what? I got this thought. I was looking at this conversation where someone was saying your standards in your what's the word? Standards in your preference.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
It is.
Right? So your standards and your preference are 2 different things. So now, with that being said, what's the 3 things when you're dealing with a dude? Those 3 things have to be met before we even go there, right? It's a 2-part question. What 3 things need to be met that has to be met that say, hey, at least he don't got these 3 things, ain't going nowhere, right? And then second, when you in a relationship, are we going in here saying like, damn, if this dude feel good in 6 months, you good with getting married within a year? Or you still work on the same standard of years?
No. So the first question to answer that, you have to be a leader. I'm a leader, so you have to be able to lead me. And I know a lot of women that are very, like high demand women or high profile women or women that have their stuff going on, they request that. So to answer your question, you have to be a leader. Like you have to be able to lead me. So if you can't lead me, that's one. That's not going to work for me. Secondly, you have to be able to calm me down. And what I mean that the yin to my yang, right? Because I can go 0 to 100 quick, and I need to be able to speak to someone that, when I mean bring me down, it's not like in a feisty way, so to say. But if I'm having a conversation with you, I can come to you for advice. So that's very imperative to me. And thirdly, an ambitious man, someone ambitious, and people might say that oh, that means she's looking for somebody with money. Okay. Somebody with ambitious men are never broke. I will tell you that. Ambitious men are never broke.
Because I was about to ask you that.
Yeah, ambitious
like,
men. Ambitious men are never broke.
How long he could be broke though?
He could be broke for I'll give you 6 months. I'll hold you down.
No.
She not being realistic.
No.
She not listen. I'm in listen.
I would, as your brother, I would judge you.
Listen.
You come here and be like, hey, Terrell, hey, look. Look at Johnny. I'll be like, oh, what's going on, Johnny? And we get to talking, and Johnny like, no, I ain't working right now. I'm in between jobs. And he telling me his in between jobs like 6 months from now. I'm like, yo, listen.
Yeah.
I don't know who we doing.
I think what she really trying to do is open up the pool so more people will come talk to her. But once again, I think whoever comes in her life, there's 3, 4, 6 gentlemen that dude need to make sure he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. She got some brothers that's like, hey, you can't come here slacking. So she might say 6 months. We might be like, stop playing, buddy. You're coming in to try to take out. We need you to. Just like we talked about before, right? You need to get your mind right and your money right. Because her mind and her money right, so we need you to be basically on the same path. So I want us to keep. I want all those gentlemen out there. She's a very beautiful young lady. We know, but you better get your mind right and stuff right.
We won't need people buying cars. That's for $40.
No, we're not doing that.
So hold on. So before we jump in, because I know we getting close to wrapping up, so we just ask you a couple of questions. You know what I'm saying? So we get through. Because again, somebody might be watching this, and they might have hit those 3 standards. So we don't want. So now that we got the 3 standards created, we don't want them to be afraid to DM us and be like, "Hey man, like you know, hold on, before you are single though now, right?"
I am. Single.
Okay, so we want to. So if you got those 3 standards out the way, right? Boom. So now we're gonna bring it further. So how important is looks to you? Like you can, because I hear this. It's 2 things women say. I don't believe them, right? 2 things they say. They say looks don't matter, and what you shaking don't matter, right? So I asked you about the shaking. That's your whatever. But as far as the looks, do looks matter? Do looks matter for you?
I've dated men that.
Ugly?
I've dated men that it's the face that only a mother would love, right? So I would say.
It's the swag.
It has to be. Listen, you gotta have some type of swag,
Gotcha.
like, because it's that me, and this is why my friends tell me like maybe that's why I'm still single. I always go for the men that everybody wants, like the man that grabs the attention in the room, the man when he walks in, you know, like, yeah, right. But I've dated men like that too, that all the women want and that, but they're like attention grabbing, right? I don't like that. That's what I again think that I've learned in my 30s that I didn't know in my 20s. That I like a man that you grab the attention in the room and you can sit in the corner by yourself, and like everybody's wondering, like, yo, who is that? Like, who is he? You know. So when it comes to looks, that does play a huge part. Because nobody
Can't
want
be
to.
ugly. I got you.
I don't know what ugly means to other people.
Okay.
But he has to be tall. He has to be taller than me.
Oh, let me ask you a question. So, cause we did discuss this from a scale of 1 to 10, what he got to fall into?
What do you mean in regards to looks?
Yes, from a 1 to 10. What is your cutoff? Like he can't if he fall under this number, I can't even talk to him.
A 6.5.
So if you drop to a 6, you might well just keep. If you're a 6,
if he's a 6, he gotta have a lot. Like he has a lot to
money.
I
I got you.
Got a lot of swag.
So hey, as y'all listening to this, if you ain't a 6, you know what I'm saying? If you a 6, you good, but you gotta have a lot of money. I got you.
And if you want to know if you're a 6 or not, according to Tavares, if you walk in a room and there's 100 people in there, well, 60 people find you attractive. That's how you know if you.
Well, no, 60% of the people in the room.
Yes.
Because if you walk in the room with 60 people, not all of them are going to turn into your boss.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but according to Tavares, if you walk in a room with 10 people and 6 people find you attractive,
Then you're a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have to feel comfortable going home to you.
You
Not
know,
only that, you have to feel comfortable walking out in public.
So when you walk away, they gonna be like, Landy. As soon as Landy leaves the family event, we can be like,
Bro, did you see that dude?
No, we're gonna be like, as long as she happy.
That's how you know that as long as she happy.
It's okay.
We like, you happy? That's all that matters. She's like, what do you think? You're happy?
That's all that matters.
Okay, so I appreciate that. Y'all heard that. You know what I'm saying? You those 3 standards, you gotta be under. She'll take a 6 if you got money, but a 6.5 is the furthest she would go. She would drop. You know what I'm saying? I wanna thank her for taking out the time to have this discussion, to sitting here for 2 extended episodes of what we discussed. So before we close out, again, just kind of tell the people some of the things you got going on, where they can find you, like where your information and what's up.
Okay, so you guys can reach me if you guys want to book a complimentary strategy session. So this is all the business owners and stuff like that. You guys may, just want to figure out what is it that I do. I do offer complimentary sessions. You can go to landebrand.com, which is LandyBrand.com, and on there you can click on the link and it'll give you where you can book that. You can follow me on Instagram, which is Lande the Brand, which is LandeThebrand. You can find me on there as well, and on Facebook, Lande Brand, LandeBrand. You can follow me on there. And my next event, I'm so excited, is the next Boss Up Brunch, which will be happening the end of July, where we're showcasing, an event where you can have a good time, network and come together with other business owners and stuff like that, and kind of showcase what is it that you do, and still have a good time, vibe, and listen to good music, eat good food.
Okay, so most likely the next one, the dean's office will be there to help support
For sure.
and do more
Yeah,
things.
we'll
So
shoot an episode from there.
we'll shoot out episode.
Might do it
once
live.
again.
That would be good.
We do it live.
We'll see what happens, how we get there.
We'll
But
do it,
once
yeah.
again, before we go, I want to just say thank you for opening up to us. Thank you for
Thank you.
revealing the things that you do. I think you being one of the first one for us to interview, I think is important because we enjoy know the things that you do, and we wanted everybody else to know all of the great things you are doing.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you for being aboard. Coming on with us.
Yeah, seriously, and the same thing for me. Like I think I told you this in the past. Really admire your strength. Like she mentioned, single mother, entrepreneur, full-time job person, volunteers. It takes a lot. You think it's 4 of us, only 1. So you gotta appreciate people like her and everybody that's just like her. Thank you too as well. She's an amazing person.
Thank you.
Okay. And that with being said, remember, what we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight people that we feel that is interesting, that we wanna put them on the dean's list. That's something we're gonna start new. If you know someone that you feel that is interesting, that needs to come on the show, just reach out to us, DM us, message us, and we'll reach out to them and set it up. We can come to you. We can do everything that's needed to highlight that person. So again, I want to thank everybody for listening, rocking with us, supporting us, liking, sharing all the good things that you're doing. Don't forget to go to YouTube, Instagram, the_Deans_Office, Twitter. That's jumping. Just reach out, man. Let's continue to support us, and also Haiti Open for highlighting our Dean's List contestant, or I don't even know what you call when you put on the Dean's List, because I ain't been on it much. But I want to thank y'all, and until next time, you rock with your boy Dean.
Tim.
Teran.
Yo.